Clark is graduating from Fordham Law on Monday. Now, on top of her Miss New York duties, she's also coaching girls soccer and passing on lessons in diversity that she can help her team both on and off the field.
Yeah, she's joining us now to talk more about it. And Sydney, thanks for being here. So I have to ask you, what does it mean to you? I see you got the sweatshirt on. What does it mean to complete law school during AAPI month? It has to be an honor to your family.
It really is. My grandparents came to this country from Korea during the Korean War, and they have always believed in the importance of education. So even though my grandfather is no longer with us, I keep his taxi driver certificate with me at all times to remind me of the legacy that I'm carrying on in his honor. And also, less than 3% of practicing attorneys in the United States are Asian women. So to be able to join the legal industry and be that representation for young women like myself is incredibly important.
Yes,
we love it. We love it.
it.
So what actually inspired you or made you want to go to law school?
It's so funny. When I was a little girl, my dad's lawyer for his company actually told me, do not become a lawyer. Whatever you do, it's a terrible idea. And I did not take her advice. So I actually wanted to become a lawyer because I loved to talk, I loved to read, I loved to argue. And I realized that to be successful, that would be a great place for me to be. And what I realized was being a lawyer was so much more than that. And it really meant being able to uphold and uplift the laws of this country in a way that I never thought that I could as a little girl from Massachusetts.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, so you also coach soccer. I don't know where you get the time, but you do it. So why is that important to you?
You know, it is so incredibly important to me to be able to give back to the community in what little time that I have. So every Saturday, I'm up in the Bronx coaching with South Bronx United, a group of amazing little girls. We have such a fun time, and sports is such an incredible way to teach girls the important lessons of leadership and of teamwork. And those are the types of skills that they're going to take with them well past whenever they're done playing soccer or if they choose to pursue another sport. So being able to coach these girls means the world to me because those were lessons that I learned as a kid, and they are lessons that I've taken with me throughout my entire educational and professional journey.
So you mentioned that you grew up in Massachusetts. Can you talk a little bit about, was the community you grew up, was it diverse, and how do you go on to teach kids now about diversity?
Definitely. When I was in elementary school, I was one of only 2 Asian girls in my school, and the other girl was my twin sister. So it definitely was very striking to move to New York City and find out all about diverse communities and learn so much from other people. So when I coach my girls, I make sure that we have those conversations about the traditions that we share at home and how those might differ from the traditions that we have in our own households. And we talk about how those traditions are so cool and so important, and we really work on respecting the types of traditions and religions and beliefs that we bring to the soccer field with us, because that type of diversity makes our team stronger, just as it makes our community stronger.
That is so right. That is so right. So what's it feel like to be an inspiration to a new generation out there?
You know, it's really funny because I never thought of myself as inspiring anybody. And then after I competed at Miss America, I got so many messages from little girls from across the country, little girls in Iowa and Idaho and California, telling me that they were so inspired to see someone like me being in law school and coaching soccer and doing all of these things. And, you know, it just reminds me that you never know who is watching the things that you're doing. So just as much as we're doing these accomplishments for ourselves, we're also inspiring the people that come after us. As Kamala Harris said, it's so important that we are the first, maybe, but it's definitely important that we're not the last.
All right, we believe that. And I see you have that crown in the back, and I always tell people, wear your crown, either literally or figuratively. Oh, so what advice would you have for girls who may not be actually feeling like they're worthy or worth it?
You know, what I always remind myself is there are going to be days where you look in the mirror and you just do not feel it. And sometimes you're going to have to just fake it. And if it just takes a few minutes of telling yourself that you got this, whether that's verbally reminding yourself that you got this, that's all you have to do. And that's exactly what I did for my last 2 law exams. And you know what? I'm still graduating.
Oh, I love
it.
I love it. I can't wait to hear you speak. I have a feeling you're going to do some great public speaking out there and across the country. All right, what's the first thing you're going to do after graduation?
The first thing I am going to do is actually give up my title as Miss New York. We have our Miss New York competition May 29th in Peekskill, New York, and I will be crowning the next Miss New York.
Wonderful.
Well, I'm sure this is not the last time that we'll be hearing from you. Next time we're going to wear crowns, you know, and just sit around and discuss with each other. But Sydney, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. Have a great weekend. Bye.
Good luck. You too.